It's always fascinating to journey into the lives of the world's richest people at any given time. And since men still dominate that list, it's even more fascinating to learn about the women that currently have the highest net worth in the world. While you may be familiar with some of the names of the wealthiest women in the world right now, others will surprise you. Stay tuned as we take a peek inside the billionaire lifestyle of the world's richest women. From heiresses who have inherited a generational fortune from their families to self-made female business owners that are building their empires. Number 10, Yang Wein, China, 11.8 billion. Yang Wein had quite the journey to becoming one of the richest heiresses in the world. Her father, Yang Gaojiang, a farmer and journeyman construction worker, founded Country Garden Group when Yang Wein was only 11 years old. The corporation accumulated high-rise residential properties, commercial assets, and other developments in a short period. In 2007, Yang Wein's father, Yang Gaojiang, transferred a 70% stake into her name, making her not only one of the company's major shareholders, but also the richest person in China at the age of 25. This marked the beginning of Yang Wein's ascent to the top of the rich list. But the family's real estate firm is not the main source of the Chinese heiress's wealth, as Yang also owns Bright Scholar Education Holdings, the organization in charge of running China's largest international K-12 institutions. Number 9. Laurene Powell Jobs, United States, 12.1 billion. Up to the death of her late husband, Steve Jobs, in 2011, Laurene preferred to remain in the shadow of her late spouse. However, his untimely death at age 56 left Laurene with a high-profile fortune attached to her name, in addition to grieving over her husband's passing, taking on the role of sole parent for their children, and dealing with the attention she would prefer to avoid. Unknown to many, Laurene has made a name for herself as a philanthropist. The Emerson Collective, a Silicon Valley, California-based organization with a focus on social change advocacy, is one of her largest projects. The company was established in 2004 and ran quietly. Even one of her 10 new recruits in 2010 was unaware of who the Emerson was who owned the business because it was run in such a low-key manner. Number 8. Charlene de Carvalho Heineken, the Netherlands, 15.3 billion. Charlene became the only heir to the Heineken fortune and received a 25% interest in Heineken International, the second largest brewery in the world after Freddie Heineken, the company's former CEO and Charlene's father, passed away in 2002. While Charlene was the only child, she had little involvement in her father's business. She previously owned just one share in the company, which was valued at $32. She decided to live a quiet life by studying law and residing in London with her husband and kids, rather than taking on the responsibilities of the family business. Within 1 week of her father's passing, Charlene decided to take over a quarter of Heineken International shares after she was put on the spot by her husband. She exchanged her quiet life in London for the demanding life of a businesswoman, traveling to different parts of the world to learn about the empire her father had built to prove herself a worthy successor. She held the title of the wealthiest businesswoman in the Netherlands and executive director of Heineken International for years. Number 7. Iris Fontbonne, Chile, 21.1 billion. Born in 1942, Iris Fontbonne is a rich entrepreneur from Chile and the widow of Andrónico Luksic Abaroa. The matriarch of Chile's richest family, the majority of Iris Fontbonne's wealth comes from Antofagasta, the copper mining company she inherited from her late husband. Andrónico Luksic, who also founded what has grown to be one of the largest copper mining businesses in the world. In addition to the mining sector, Iris is also in charge of a number of significant enterprises that are part of the Luksic Group, including a brewery, a shipping company, and banking. Despite having inherited her money, Iris aggressively increased the company's dominance in copper mining and its other holdings in finance and beverages from $2.8 billion to $7.5 billion by using her controlling shareholding. She also contributes to a number of charitable organizations, such as Fundación Teletón in Chile, which helps underprivileged children, families, and individuals. Iris also has a number of investments in companies outside of the Luksic Group. She bought a small share in Banco de Chile, one of Chile's biggest banks, in 2015. Number 6. Abigail Johnson, United States, 21 billion. Born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1961, Abigail Johnson defied convention when she took over as chairperson of Fidelity Investments, one of the top 3 financial services firms in the country, and became the most prominent woman in finance. Nevertheless, inheriting a fortune with trillions of dollars in assets is not easy, especially for Abby, who had to break into a traditionally male-dominated field and establish herself. In addition to demonstrating that a woman can succeed in a male-dominated industry, Abby utilizes her success to encourage more women to enter the finance and investment management fields and to make her workplace a welcoming environment for those seeking a rewarding career in the sector. She was recognized by Forbes magazine as the most powerful woman in finance in 2021. In addition to her commercial endeavors, Abigail Johnson is a well-known philanthropist. Through the family trust, she contributes to institutions like her alma mater, Harvard, the Institute of Contemporary Art, and a number of Republican and Democratic candidates for public office. Number 5. Suzanne Klatten, Germany, $25 billion. A businesswoman of German descent, Suzanne Klatten currently controls over 19% of BMW, the largest manufacturer of luxury vehicles worldwide, which also owns the Mini Cooper banner and the Rolls-Royce brand. But Suzanne is only the second largest shareholder behind her brother, Stefan Quandt, who holds more than 23% of the company. Suzanne's commercial success is independent of the family's primary enterprise. Her attention has primarily been on Atlanta AG, a pharmaceutical firm that her grandfather started and which she has helped to become a global leader. She continues to serve as chairman and the only shareholder of Atlanta AG. Number 4. Gina Rinehart, Australia, $27.9 billion. Gina Rinehart's primary business is the iron ore mining corporation that her father, Lang Hancock, originally founded. However, she neither has the typical heiress story, nor does she want to be referred to as one because she did not inherit her father's fortune, but rather his burdens. The business was on the verge of bankruptcy when her father passed away in 1992, but Gina was able to effectively prevent that outcome. According to her and those who are familiar with her story and her, she is a self-made billionaire that made the best of the awful financial situation she was forced to cope with. She intends to keep growing her business with no plans to stop soon. It might surprise you to know that she is an economics dropout from the University of Sydney Economics. Yes, and now she's on Forbes' list of the top 100 most powerful women in the world. Number 3, Jacqueline Mars, United States, $39.3 billion. An American heiress and former entrepreneur, Jacqueline Mars' grandfather, Frank C. Mars, and his wife, Ethel, founded the Mars Candy Factory in 1911. In the beginning, Mars Candy Factory made and sold wholesale buttercream candy from their own kitchen. After a few difficult years and a lot of fierce competition, the couple relocated to Minneapolis and started a chocolate candy business. Frank, their son and the father of Jacqueline, held the title of the sole heir to the candy manufacturing enterprise until he died in 1999. Long before she inherited the Mars family fortune, Jacqueline Mars started working for the Mars Company in 1982. She worked in a number of positions before becoming its president from 1991 to 2001, when she eventually retired. Jacqueline now concentrates on her humanitarian endeavors and sits on a number of boards, including those for the U.S. Equestrian Team and the National Archives. Number 2, Alice Walton, United States, $61.9 billion. Alice Walton is the only daughter and youngest child of Sam Walton, the man who founded Walmart. While she may not be as dedicated to the family business as her brothers Rob and Jim, that doesn't mean she doesn't make a significant amount of money from it. She is a co-manager of Walton Enterprises, one of the family's holding firms that control 50% of Walmart's largest retailer. However, Alice is passionate about art. The Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art, which Alice founded in 2011 in her native Bentonville, Arkansas, and her own collection, which was estimated to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, are a testament to this. Number 1, Françoise Bettencourt Myers, France, $75.8 billion. Before she was recognized as the owner of the $107.5 billion stake in L'Oreal following her mother's passing in 2017, Françoise played a significant role in managing the family's wealth as the head of their own investment firm and the president of the Bettencourt-Schweller Foundation. But it's not simple to step into her mother's shoes. Françoise is not just the heir to the cosmetics tycoon's money, she's also a skilled writer of Greek mythology works and literature that focus on Jewish-Christian relations. And there you have it for this video. As we move towards an equal society, are you excited to see more women making this list? Let us know in the comments below. Before you leave, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.